Okay, let's unpack this. Getting cybersecurity news noticed,
Hmm.
it's really tough, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's a real challenge.
You might have something crucial, a new defense, maybe some vital threat intel, or even a zero-day find.
Right. Really important stuff.
And you write up what feels like the perfect announcement, hit send, and, well, often it's just silence.
Yeah, it just disappears.
Yeah.
Gets lost in that flood of emails journalists get every single day.
Exactly. Like this AI news article we looked at points out the cyber PR landscape is, well, it's incredibly competitive.
It really is a gladiator pit, like you said.
So the big question is, how do you actually make your message land? How do you get it covered?
Mm-hmm.
That's really our mission for this deep dive. We're going to explore strategies to make those cybersecurity press releases stand out based on some interesting points from that AI news piece.
And I think the first thing to grasp, which the article really highlights, is the journalist's perspective. They're the gatekeepers, essentially.
Yeah.
Their main job, their priority, is delivering value to their audience.
Right, not promoting your company necessarily.
Exactly. So the core question we need to figure out for anyone sending a release is how do you turn your news into something genuinely valuable for their readers?
Yeah, that's the key shift, isn't it? And the article does a good job breaking down why so many releases just fail. One huge reason that they're often way too complex.
Uh-huh. Too technical.
Yeah, too technical for a general tech reporter to just pick up and run with immediately. It's like trying to explain quantum encryption using only emojis or something.
Right. If they can't quickly get the gist, the core significance, without needing a PhD in cybersecurity, chances are it's not going anywhere.
It gets put in the too hard pile.
Exactly. And the AI news piece also mentions this thing about burying the important stuff.
Oh, right. Lost in all the corporate jargon.
Precisely. Instead of a clear, punchy point, you're wading through layers of marketing speak about, synergistic paradigms and revolutionary platforms.
Word bingo.
Pretty much. And the article argues, quite strongly, I think, that journalists are really looking for the impact, the actual problems being solved, not just a list of your product's features.
It comes back to that question. Why should their audience care? You have to answer that up front.
You do, and they need proof. They need solid data, credible research they can actually point to in their story.
So saying our new AI is better isn't enough.
Nope, that's just noise. But if you say, our research based on analyzing X billion events found this new attack method and our new technique Y stopped it 95% of the time in tests, that's got substance.
Okay, that makes sense. Specificity, data.
Yeah. And like you said, the article really drives home that the journalist's main role isn't to be your marketing arm.
No, their job is serving their readers with relevant, newsworthy information.
So the mindset has to be, how does my announcement become that relevant story for them? It's about making their job easier, really, showing them the significance clearly.
And the article even touches on the basics, like, just good formatting and looking at examples of releases that actually worked well.
Absolutely. Don't underestimate that. A messy or confusing release can just kill your credibility right there.
So it's the whole package. But where AI comes in, according to the article, is pretty interesting. It offers some forward-thinking ways to tackle these challenges.
Yeah, let's get into that. The research side first.
Okay, AI for research. The article talks about using AI tools to track media coverage patterns, see what cybersecurity topics are actually getting attention.
Right. So you can spot the trends. It's like having a sort of radar for what's currently hot in the news cycle.
And then you can use that.
Yeah, you use that understanding to frame your own news. Position it so it fits into a conversation that's already happening. If, say, ransomware is all over the news and your announcement relates to that, AI helps you connect those dots explicitly.
Makes sense. Ride the wave, so to speak.
Kind of. And another idea from the article I found really compelling was using LLMs, like ChatGPT or Gemini, to analyze successful press releases in your niche.
Oh, interesting. So you'd feed it examples of releases that got good pickup.
Exactly. Give it a bunch that worked and ask it, what are the common elements here? What kind of language did they use? How did they frame the problem? What data did they highlight?
So it's like AI pattern recognition for PR success.
Pretty much. It can give you really valuable clues about what resonates with journalists in your specific field. The article also mentions using AI for sentiment analysis.
Sentiment analysis, like figuring how the public feels about certain cyber topics.
Yeah. AI tools can scan news comments, social media, forums, that sort of thing, to gauge the general mood.
Okay, and how does that help the press release?
Well, if you know there's a lot of public anxiety around, say, identity theft, and your announcement is about a new way to prevent that, you can tailor your message to directly address those existing concerns. Tap into that feeling.
Gotcha. Connect with the current zeitgeist. Okay, so AI helps with research and positioning. What about the actual writing? The article mentioned that too, right? Making it less complex.
Yeah, and this is huge. Using AI, particularly LLMs, to simplify complex technical ideas. Translating engineer speak into something a broader audience, including non-specialist reporters, can understand.
That seems incredibly useful because often the people making the news are deep experts, but the people reporting it might not be.
Precisely. And the headline? The article emphasizes how critical that is. It's your first impression, sometimes your only one.
Yeah, if the headline doesn't grab them, they might not read any further.
Right. So the suggestion is to use an LLM to brainstorm headline options. Feed it the core message and ask for, say, 10 different headlines focusing on clarity and impact. You get a bunch of choices.
Like having a super fast brainstorming partner.
Exactly. And then once you have a draft of the whole release, you can run that through an LLM too. Ask it to flag jargon or overly technical terms and suggest simpler alternatives.
A final plain English check?
Kind of like that, yeah. Tailored for a general tech reporter audience.
Okay, so research help, writing help. What about making it more visually appealing? The article mentioned AI for visual storytelling.
Yeah, this is where it gets pretty creative. Using AI image generation tools, think Midjourney, DLE, tools like that.
How would that work for a press release?
Well, you could write prompts based on your announcement, maybe describing the threat or the solution, and the AI generates custom images or illustrations, things that can make the message much more engaging than just blocks of text.
So instead of a stock photo, you could have a unique image that actually visualizes the core concept.
Potentially, yeah. And the article talks about prompt engineering getting good at writing those instructions for the AI to create visuals that are not just nice to look at, but actually reinforce your key message, maybe even simple infographics based on your data.
That could definitely make a release stand out more memorable.
For sure. And the AI news piece pushes it even further, suggesting using AI for video content too.
Video, alongside a press release. Now that sounds interesting.
Yeah, the idea is brief, AI-generated explainer videos. The article mentions a few types.
Like what?
Okay, so one is short explainer videos, using text-to-video tools that can take key paragraphs from your release and turn them into short animated clips, maybe with stock footage, narration, text overlays.
Wow, okay, so a quick, digestible summary.
Exactly. Imagine a busy journalist getting a 1-minute video that visually sums up your research findings instead of just a dense document. That can be really appealing.
I can see that. What else?
It also mentions AI avatar summaries, using AI to create a short video where a realistic-looking digital human presents the main points.
Huh, like a virtual spokesperson delivering the elevator pitch?
Kinda, yeah. And then there's data visualization videos, using AI tools to animate your key stats or show a process unfolding visually.
That seems powerful, especially for cybersecurity, where you're often dealing with abstract threats or complex processes, making the numbers or the attack chain come alive.
Definitely. It can make the impact much clearer and more memorable. But, and this is important, the AI news article wraps up with a crucial reminder.
Which is, don't forget the humans.
Basically, yes. That even with all these cool AI tools, human insight, human expertise, human connection, that stuff is still absolutely vital for effective cyber PR.
So AI is an assistant, not a replacement.
Precisely. It's about enhancing what we do, augmenting our abilities, not automating the whole thing. AI can help research, write, create visuals, make videos, but it doesn't understand nuance or build relationships with journalists or craft a truly compelling narrative strategy the way a person can.
Right, and the article stresses keeping that human element central in the story itself, doesn't it?
It does, highlighting the people behind the research, the real-world impact on individuals and organizations, the human side of security. That's what often makes a story truly connect.
So the takeaway is really about blending the two. Using AI's power and efficiency, but guiding it with human strategy and focusing on human-centered stories.
That's the sweet spot, according to the article. Combine that human focus with AI automation to maximize the impact of your press releases and your overall cyber PR efforts.
It's about moving beyond just pushing out information.
And actually connecting, using the tools smartly to tell a better story.
So For you listening, what this means is that, yes, getting cybersecurity news heard is tough, no doubt about it, but there are these increasingly powerful AI tools you can leverage. They can seriously boost your chances of breaking through the noise.
Just got to remember, they're tools. Powerful ones, but still tools. They work best when guided by smart human strategy and a focus on why your story actually matters to other humans.
Which leads us to a final thought to chew on. As these AI tools get even more sophisticated, how is this going to change the whole relationship between cybersecurity folks trying to share news and the journalists covering it?
Yeah, that's a big question. What new dynamics emerge? What ethical considerations pop up as AI gets better at generating content? Maybe even news itself, something definitely worth thinking about.